How does Shopify work? This is a behind the scenes video of the how not to store. Specifically, we're going to talk about the retail side, obviously, if we're talking about Shopify. I'm going to share with you what I see on my Shopify end. Now, I don't share other people's data for legal reasons, but also ethically, but I'm going to be oversharing my data. So you are going to see a lot of my stuff on my store. But first, I want to explain to anybody who's not familiar with Shopify what it is. And this is also intended for people who are joining our team who may not be familiar with Shopify to understand this tool that we're using all the time. I'm not a web developer. I'm not an expert at this. All I know is I've been using it for a year and a half, and I know what it feels like to use. This is our website playbook. Eventually, we'll just get merged with the other one, but it is our SOP. It's how we operate things. We have customer profiles, the different locations people might be, the website big picture on how to navigate different aspects of the website, which is great for anybody helping us work on the website, understand what they're walking into, but also how we work on the back end. And that's what I'm going to show you right now is mostly back end stuff. This is a great analogy that would have helped me understand Shopify as a concept, because I thought when you see all these stupid ads, there's no affiliate link, by the way. You see all these stupid ads for Shopify and you're like, oh, you can get rich in 30 days, or it's so easy. You just click a button. No, I've spent probably 50 grand and 15 months of my life making the website look the way it is. And it's a horrible amount of work. And I think people should know that. But if you don't understand that Shopify is not a website, then you will probably be less disappointed than I was. It is infinitely better than Wix or Squarespace, infinitely better, but it is still just like, let me just go into it. Shopify is the streets in the neighborhood, the local park, the sewer system, and the electric grid to allow your plot of land ready for a house. It is not a house. If you think you're buying a house and you show up and you get a plot of dirt, and if you've ever seen a plot of dirt without a house on it, it's actually not very big, then yes, they do help. Yes, they have a sewer system. Yes, they have an electric grid. All these like foundational things you need is why Shopify has grown to be massive. It is the server, the payment processor. They built the ecosystem for others to build apps around it. But you're not getting a website, and you should know that. Themes is the foundation and the framing. It's the shape of the house. You can paint it different colors, but it's still the house. It is what you're going to get from an architect. It is the shape of the house. You're not going to have a mansion if your theme is not a mansion. This is a one-time payment to buy the theme, which is nice. It's freaking the only thing that's a one-time payment on there. And the impact theme is what we use. It has a solid version history with most of the bugs worked out. They're not all created equal. We spent 3 months working on a theme when we first started, when we're fragile, when we're trying to get our store started. And it had bug after bug after bug that my web developers were trying to like Band-Aid. And it was like the bathroom was, let's say, the only bathroom in the house was inside the master bedroom. So then every time anybody needed to use the bathroom, it was inside the master bedroom. It was like stupid stuff like that if it was a website. I used to paint houses, by the way. So in case you're wondering why all the analogies are like this. Apps. It is soul sucking on a monthly budget, but okay, back to this. It's the appliances, and you have to pay the utilities. The apps we use are Conjured memberships. That is where our Bolter Plus member is built on. Easy Scan. It has a lot of functionality. Well, actually, we don't use Easy Scan anymore. We use Scan Picker. Scan Picker is what we use now, and it has a lot of functionality, and that's what we use to scan our items in and out of the store. We'll go into these apps in detail later for those for the few people this might help. Matrixify helps us export all of our data so we can be, it's not, literally Shopify doesn't allow you to export everything. So you have to have an app for that. Yes, it lets you export some stuff, but not others. We'll get into all these things later, but I just want you to understand that you have to have apps sitting on top of your theme, sitting on top of Shopify. Wishlist Plus, wishlists are not baked into websites. You have to have an app for that. ShipStation, it integrates into your Shopify store, and that is one way, the easier way to ship international. We used Shopify's way of shipping domestically, and it works for most things, but not everything, and that's why we have ShipStation. Retail barcode labels. You literally need an app to print barcode labels. Wow. Search and discovery. Now, that's an app that Shopify made, but it's an app. It's an app. Everything's an app. Everything's an app. Like, what's Shopify? And if you don't understand, like, Shopify is literally nothing. It's what takes the credit card. Everything's an app that sits on top of this. And if you ever try to make your own app, you'll find out that paying monthly is cheaper. Product pages. It's the furniture and decorations. If it's organized and nice looking, you have a nice website. If it's not, even if your house has great bones, great structure, in a nice neighborhood, you have a bad website. So it's what we, us as a store team, put in, not necessarily the web developers. I mean, it needs to be nice looking from the web developer perspective, but you have to have good information and good photos. And that's the stuff that I really value, is having helpful information. And that's what makes, when people say we have a good website, I don't know what they mean. I'm assuming that it's just easy to navigate and organized, but nothing is easy to make easy. Now I'm going to show you this part of my Shopify backend, but let me show you there's 4 areas that you need to navigate on Shopify. And especially if you're working on our team, you should know this, because see this number 4 down here, settings? Yeah, it took me like 3 months to learn that's where most things I wanted lived. If you want to manage the orders, the customers, the emails, and the money, it's right here. The online store, the second part, is literally designing the website. It's how it works. Apps, all of them live here. I don't have it drop down in here, but that is where all the apps live. Settings that manage users, our domains, our taxes, our policies, all live in settings. And this is irrelevant for now. Now, today is January 16th. When I'm filming this, it's year to date. This is 16 days. And you can see here that we've had 755 orders, and this is what our month looks like. That's the home page. If you go to orders, you can see what's unfulfilled, what has been fulfilled, who packed it, the order number, the date, and the price, the person, all of that. Draft orders is anything that is a custom order, basically. If you go to products, you're going to be able to look up anything. You can type in giant tortoise, and you could click that. It'll take you to the product page. This is a whole animal in itself. We're going to get it, giant tortoise. We're going to go through this in another video, but collections, this is how you group everything together. It's just, this is where it lives. I'm not trying to explain everything here. And you can see that this is 100% of the customer base, 28,000 customers, but I only have 22,000 people on my email list because some are not subscribed, some are, some have 32 orders, some have 1 order, some are 0 orders, but subscribe to the email. Content is not usually something that we mess with because we're adding photos through the product pages, but we do mess with the menus here. And this is how we have our mega menu, and a mega menu deserves its own video. That took a lot of work to organize the climbing, caving, canyon products that we have. Finance, this is mostly something that I see on my end. I don't know if the store access has this, but it's really not that special. Payouts are just the days it paid out and went into the bank account. And you can see that the payout balance, what's crazy is how big this gets. This one's kind of small, and Shopify could owe me anywhere from $5,000 to $30,000. If we have a big sale over a weekend, it could take them like, I think, a week by the time they get the money from the credit card company. It processes, as in they give it to me and it processes. And it's like, wow, that's a ton of money that is constantly in a pipe. I consider cash flow pipes in this business, right? If I order gear and I'm waiting 2 weeks for it to show up, inventory receivables is a pipe. Shopify owing me money is a pipe. All these things that require cash to fill up the pipe get bigger and bigger as the store grows. And so you can't just use all the money you have for products on the shelf, which is a cash flow heavy business model. But you also have these pipes. Bill pay is, Shopify's trying to be a bank. So this would be your balance with them. This would be your credit. This would be bill pay. I don't want to use Shopify for a bank. That's its own video. Analytics. This is from the last 16 days. So this is what you see on the homepage, online store sessions, total orders, average order value. This is very consistent for the last year. Returning customers, top selling products. And this is really skewed, right? Because if you're selling hangers or cord by the foot, like, yeah, I can tell you right now, totems are the things we sell like the most of, I guess, per dollar amount. But obviously, by the foot is going to be, or stainless steel quick links. I don't know what else is interesting on here for you. Brave apparently is a browser people are using. If 105 people have shown up from Brave. Linktree is from the Instagram. Hownottoo.info is my blogs. I need to migrate them over to my main website. Top landing pages. It's interesting how many people land on the website on the Z2R page, right? It tells you what pages people are landing on, fulfilled orders over time. So there's my real numbers. And you can click reports there and you can get whatever report you're looking for specifically, and you can filter all that out. I never click marketing because I just do social media. So I don't do traditional marketing. These discount codes are either things you give specifically to one person or a small group of people. The Bolter Plus membership is built into the system. The welcome code, 15% off. It's different for everyone who signs up, but but because that's an app, then that's all built into this discount code system. Moving on to the second part, the online store part here. This is the main one. If you want to change the website, you click customize and you can look at a desktop or a mobile, but this is how you could go to different pages. You want, what country are you looking perspective on? If you want to look at a product page and you just go to a default product page and you go to this headlamp, this just represents that. You can change it if you want, but this is where this button lives and what's above it and below it. So here it's 1 point for $1 spent. That's essentially the 10% REI model. And it's on things that it applies to, right? It can't be on the things that it doesn't apply to. So we have to have default product page, and then we have to have the industrial stuff it does not apply to. So it kind of gets complicated, and that's pretty wild and deep and all that. But blog posts, all of our big wall stuff, our bolting stuff, any of our blogs are going to live here. Our pages, for example, would be this cam chart we're working on, which I don't even know if it's out yet. The code for it is going to live somewhere else, but it's going to be able to filter cams by size, and it lives here. So this is a page, and pages live under that, which live under pages. What's weird is if you click navigation, it sends you back up to here, which is content menus. So whatever, that is where we navigate the menu. POS, point of sale. First time I've ever clicked on that. We don't sell in person. People have to buy on their phone in person or before they show up. It's a pickup only setup just because of where I am. Facebook, Instagram ads, I think they're trying to integrate that in here. I've never clicked on that before. I don't have an account with them. Pretty funny. I also don't ever use this, so I'm not going to talk about it since I don't know anything about it. So now when you click apps, it drops this down, and this is all of the apps we use. This is what we send our emails out on. If we want Scan Picker, I never use it on the desktop. Obviously, it's used with the phones we have in the store if you want to scan an order. But once you click the app, it gives you all sorts of options down here. So you can go to pricing, and then you can see the pricing for it, and you can do your settings, all of that. This drops you into an entirely different menu, and this is pretty self-explanatory. If you're trying to do locations, taxes, payments, and checkouts, and users, and the people that have access to the store, and what kind of role that they have access with. So that's where those things live. Every single thing I showed you goes deep. I could talk over an hour on every single thing I touched on there. And that's kind of the point of the behind the scenes channel, is for people who do have Shopify, it would be nice to see a real Shopify account that's not trying to sell you anything. So many useless things on YouTube right now. If I'm personally trying to learn something, I just don't find YouTube to be that helpful. But I think this specific video is going to be very helpful for anybody who's never used Shopify before, who's about to go deep with us and work on it on our store. It's nice to know where things are and just how to navigate the back end. We'll be going through the front end. There's a lot to a website. You know when you see a good one, and you know when you see a really bad one, but you may not know what makes those differences. And so we will have the retail playlist on our BTS channel And so you can go see all of those if you specifically like those. If you're not interested in editing, it'll be very clear which ones are for editing or for business, and you can watch them or skip them. And that is the point of this channel. And I have the comments turned off. You can read the description why. See you later.